Okay, well, I've just finished machining up this piece of maple that I've used to increase the width on the extension table on my thickness planer. And I'll get into the reasons why I've done this shortly, but what I think this video will show is just how versatile a spindle moulder or shaper can be with a tilting arbor and a multi-profile cutter head like this. So if you're into shapers or you'd like to learn more about shapers, then stick around because this might be interesting. So for anyone out there with a combination planer thicknesser or jointer thicknesser like mine, I'm not sure whether they're all the same. Certainly with the Felder range, this dust hood flips over when you put it into the mode to thickness material. And it's not super long, the outfeed part of the table. So when you've got material coming through, if it's not supported, it can actually, fall down, obviously, and in the process flips this up. And when that happens, it shuts the machine off. So it's important to support the material on its way out. And one thing that is really handy in that regard is this accessory that Felder sells. I brought this over from my old CF531, and it's nice and skookum. It's really great, but it's only 12 inches wide. And unfortunately, there's no option to get a 16-inch wide one. I would imagine the cost to have this extrusion run is probably, too much for what they're going to recoup. So they've got the 12-inch model, and that's it. For most things that I'm doing, it's fine. But when I'm running a lot of boards, a lot of material through, obviously I'm by myself and I can't always be at the other end to catch them. And sometimes, stuff will come through on the side or whatever, and it's long enough and heavy enough that it'll actually flip that up. So what I'm going to try and do is actually just have this so that it's over one side, and I'm going to add a piece of material here to try to stop that from happening. That's what this video is about. So I'll just start by square dressing this piece of maple. There's a bit of rough sawn face left, but as you'll see, I'll get rid of that shortly. Here I'm simply drawing the outline of the shape needed to match the edge of the extension table. With that outline on the end of the board, I can set up the shaper to match the profile well enough. I think this is where you really see the benefit of a shaper with a tilting arbor. The ability to get the exact angle that you need with very little fuss makes this sort of job much, much easier. Of course, the multi-profile cutter head that I can use various different knives in to get the cut that I need, and if that doesn't work out, I can always grind my own. Luckily with this job, especially considering it was such a small job, I was able to use cutters that I had and match the profile closely enough. While there are multiple changes needed to the shaper, it doesn't take too long to get it to match. The process of machining in these grooves to match the extension table may not have been entirely necessary, but it does reduce the chance of wood chips getting stuck between it and the cast iron table. I'm just going to use some 1/4 countersunk head set screws with nylock nuts to fix the two parts together. After a quick check that it's all going to work, I'll pull it apart again and just quickly sand the corners. Unfortunately, the screws that I had weren't quite long enough, so I just used a Forstner bit to make it work. Okay, well that worked out well. Now, of course, it doesn't matter where I run the board through. It's all fully supported. I mean, obviously with a really long length, you're going to still sort of face that issue where, you know, it could potentially tip the hood up. But the vast majority of the time, if I'm running, you know, really long boards, then I'm going to come down here and tail it. So I don't have that issue. But, you know, this is more a case of where I'm running boards that are maybe 6 feet long or whatever, and I'm running multiple boards, like one after the other, and I'm sort of utilizing the whole sort of width of the thickness. So this is definitely going to help. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.